Hey, what's up, America? The three officers that you see on screen were found guilty of deprivation of civil rights. On September 1st, 2022, they were ordered by a federal judge to pay $600,000 in compensation for use of excessive force and for that deprivation of civil rights. Now, this is a pretty crazy story involving several officers. Right now, at this moment, we're only going to cover three of the officers involved in this case. So let me give you a brief summary of what happened. On September 13th, 2017, in Doral, Florida, Doral police officers pulled over a man that was parked over on the side of the road. The police officers got him out of the vehicle. They started to rough him up. They started to beat him up, and they arrested him for DUI. They take him to jail. Before they get to jail, they take him to the police station to do all the processing of the paperwork. As they're taking him to the back of the cop car, they start beating him up. They start punching him. They start pushing him. They start roughing him up. They throw him in the back seat and they leave him in the cop car for 1 hour without air conditioning. After that, they go to take him to jail, and officers start driving in excessive speeds and slamming on the brakes to get the victim in the back seat to slam against the border wall in the cop car. They gave him what's called a rough ride. So when they get to the jail, the victim is so beat up and so battered, his jaw is broken, that the correctional officers refuse to process him and intake him into jail. They tell the police officers, "We're not going to take this guy into jail. You need to take him to the hospital." This starts a huge dispute between Doral PD and the correctional officers. But eventually, the Doral PD officers give in and take the victim to the hospital. When they get to the hospital, the police officers falsify all the records and all the reports. And because of it, the victim is stuck with a $30,000 hospital bill. So the victim was arrested for DUI and resisting arrest. All of the charges were dropped, and the victim filed the lawsuit in federal court. He was awarded $600,000 in compensation, but most likely than not, the city of Doral is going to pay the compensation for the police officers. I want to give you guys some information on the three officers that were found guilty of deprivation of civil rights. The first is Sergeant Alberto Tellez. He was the supervising officer that day, and he's a bad cop. I released a video of this guy back in June of 2021 where he challenges a black man to a fight in a hotel parking lot where he was reprimanded by the Doral Police Department. I'm going to put a link to that video in the description so you guys can see the type of officer that works for the Doral Police Department. Sergeant Tellez, he's a bad guy, and he was just found guilty of deprivation of civil rights, and the city of Doral is going to cough up a lot of money because of this scumbag. The second officer is Michael Acosta. This is also a bad cop. He was also found guilty of deprivation of civil rights. He no longer works for the Doral Police Department. He was let go because he was involved in a very controversial shooting where he shot a young man in the neck during a high-speed chase. I released that video on my YouTube channel. I'll put a link to that video in the description. This guy, Michael Acosta, he is also a scumbag and a bad cop. Thank God he's off the force, but we don't know where he's working at the moment. The third officer is Javier Diaz. There was no picture available for this officer at the moment. I'm working on getting a picture. He was also found guilty of deprivation of civil rights. And if he's anything like his other two buddies, he's a piece of work. He's a piece of trash. And also his actions cost the city of Doral a bunch of money. Other officers involved in this incident are Omar Felipe, Meili Bardelas, Hans Gonzalez, Nancy Gomez Fernandez, and Eric Fernandez. We'll leave those officers for part 2. The video that you're about to see is not the finished product that I wanted to bring to you. I need to release this video ASAP because I believe the Doral Police Department is trying to hack my computer and my account to prevent this information from being released. My computer was hacked earlier this week, and I received information from inside sources that the hacker was a police officer within the Doral Police Department. So this video that you're about to see is a little bit incoherent and incomplete, and it's part of a bigger investigation that I'm working on, that we're gonna put together a bigger, better, more finalized product that everything is gonna just come together. So thank you guys for watching, and more information is gonna be releasing about this case very, very soon. I have more work to do in Doral. Hey, what's up, America? I'm at the Doral Police Department. I'm doing an investigative report. A buddy of mine, he was beaten up and abused by the Doral Police Department. He sued them and just won a lawsuit settlement of $600,000 for excessive force. So we're gonna ask some questions here at the police department to see what the Doral PD got to say about that. Doral PD was just ordered.
Is this the same thing?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Was ordered to pay $600,000 in compensation.
Okay.
For a case going back to 2017 where they broke my friend's jaw. Okay. So now these are the officers that were involved. I'm gonna need a statement for the department regarding this compensation that you guys are ordered to pay.
Okay.
Have you heard about this case?
Right now, everything's an open internal affairs investigation.
Well, if the federal case has terminated, the internal affairs case should be closed. Yeah, you can have that.
No, I'm trying to see which case you're talking about.
The Victor Sepulveda case in 2017 where 5 officers broke his jaw, took him to the hospital, covered it up, and they falsified the police report. They were found guilty of excessive force and they were ordered to pay $600,000 in compensation.
Okay.
Now, one of the officers, Michael Acosta, he was fired. Well, he quit after he shot that gentleman in the neck. That you know about that, right?
Again, whatever case you're talking about, Acosta is still an open investigation.
Michael Acosta's case is still open investigation.
It's an open internal affairs investigation.
But Michael Acosta is not in the department anymore.
It's an open internal affairs investigation.
The one about where he shot the kid in the neck?
If that's, I'm not sure what he did or exactly what happened, but
you're the lieutenant and you don't know what Michael Acosta did. That he shot somebody during the high school chase.
I'm not handling the case.
Okay. So can I
we
get
don't discuss internal affairs cases.
When they're closed, you can.
When they're closed, but it's still open.
Okay, I thought because the case was closed federally.
This is a different case, correct?
Yeah, but Michael Acosta was still involved.
Like a million cases, that's why.
Well, there's only 2 cases I'm talking about at the moment.
Okay, so this one?
This is the Victor Sepulveda case where his jaw was broken by 5 cops and he was just awarded on September 1st, $600,000 in compensation.
Okay, so what do you want with this?
I want a statement from the department.
I'm not gonna give you a statement right now.
Okay, there's no one that can?
Right this moment, no.
Okay.
This case just closed, so I guess whenever everything gets processed, then maybe later on you can request.
Okay, well, all right. Now let's talk about all these officers that you see here, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna need all the disciplinary records for all those officers that you see right there.
Okay, did you already request these records?
Not all of them, for a few of them, but not all of them.
Okay, which ones did you already request?
Let's request all of them because I don't really remember.
Okay, so I'm gonna get you all the information, everything you need to know to request
okay,
to the
now,
public records office. That's gonna be done through the clerk's office.
I'll speak with her.
All right, we'll get you all the information.
Last time you gave me you brought me the disciplinary records like in 2 minutes. You don't remember that? Last time I was here?
When you came over? Yeah, but we have, kind of things have changed. We have a process
I'll speak with the city clerk.
Where it goes with the clerk's office.
Now, Sergeant Eric Fernandez, he was shot at a training center by one of his officers.
Okay.
Nothing happened to the officer. No charges were filed by the state attorney's office.
Correct.
Internal affairs investigation, is it open or closed?
This is done already.
Okay,
Complete.
so the officer that shot Eric Fernandez, is he still on duty? Any repercussions?
Everything's, if you want the request, you can ask for it. Everything's on record.
Okay,
You
so
can ask for a public record.
who's the
request.
officer? Because I don't even know the officer's name that shot him.
We can get you that information.
Okay, perfect. I would like to request that information.
All that can be done when you do the public records request. We can get everything for you. That's not a big deal.
Okay.
All right.
So you have no statement to make on this
No.
shooting with Eric Fernandez either?
No, I can't give you a statement.
You can't get, but the internal affairs investigation is closed.
On his case, yes.
But you're not going to give a statement.
No, I'm not going to give you a statement.
Okay. Eric,
But you can request a
did
record.
Sergeant Fernandez return to duty or he retired?
He retired.
Okay, he retired after he got shot and he beat up my friend and broke his jaw and falsified on the police record. Okay.
If those are your accusations, I'm not sure exactly.
Well,
I didn't read the case.
The federal judge found him guilty of it. You understand? A federal jury found him guilty of it. I'm not making it up.
No, I'm not saying you are.
The
But
department.
what I am telling you is I haven't read the case and I haven't gone through the case, so I can't really
Okay.
talk about what happened. And what didn't.
Now, once I informed you of this that happened, do you condone that type of behavior of beating up people and falsifying
The
records?
department doesn't condone any improper behavior. We're a very transparent department, okay? And that's why any information you request or anything that any public records information requested is provided to you through the clerk's office. We don't condone any type of improper behavior here.
Okay, all right. I appreciate your time. You were very helpful last time. Thank you. And I was able to get all the records that I requested.
All right, brother, you got it.
All right, Lieutenant Sanchez, just before I leave, your badge number?
307.
307. All right, this won't be the end of it because we're going to do our records request and we're going to do a follow-up and we're going to find out if these officers are still on duty and what repercussions the department took. So,
And you know where you need to do it to get the public record.
I'll be going to the city clerk's office right now.
All right.
So you can call her and let her know I'm coming through.
All right, take care.
Hey, thank you for your time.
Okay, man.
All right, guys, here we have.
Whatever next time.
All right. Here we have City of Doral PD. We have a
2209
gold badge right here.
08 01 77.